Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They run with Travis Homer, the rookie from Miami. The tackle made. By K.J. Wright.
He was taken down by K.J. Wright. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Who that? Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
54 is Mike. 56. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. They're going to need some safety.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to...
Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in Touchdown, Seattle. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Cardinals 3.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something and mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. On first down, Pollard. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Second and a couple. Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup. First down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Murray throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
Check. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Here it comes. Hurry.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Able to find Isabella. Now the ball comes loose, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Murray. He's got his man. It's Butler. And they'll get this down to the 10. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. They'll run this with Homer. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with White. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards.
First down, Seattle.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
And he's got the hook up to Moore.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Right here.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And the Seahawks, first down.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's caught, Lockett. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Here's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in Hampshire Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Murray now to throw. This one caught by Isabella. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
At the 23-yard line.
57 Mike. Mike 57. Check. Henry. Check 31. Check 31. 57.
There's Murray. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike's 57's right.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Open man, completes it to Butler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, as the first half is winding down, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught by Brown. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First down, Seahawks.
Check, 43. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson steps away to his left. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
There's Wilson to throw. He's going to right. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run with White. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Got a man. It's Brown. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to it.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ed Dixon. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. 54.
from the 22. Murray, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's good for a Cardinals first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Going on the ground with Homer. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Murray now, 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. 1st down, Murray. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Murray again, 2nd and 10. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The young buck finding the veteran there. There is 14 years separating Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. Murray turning 22 back on August 7th. And on August 31st, Larry Fitzgerald turned 36. But these two guys like each other, and it shows on the field. Eluding the pressure right.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Murray. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Right there. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. Well, at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down now. Tyler, and he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Henry, 2-6. Watch by 4. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Check out. Alert.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10.
What's tight? Tight is right. Everyone got fun.
A big spot now for the rookie Murray. This is Homer. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Travis Homer with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at their 48-yard.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw, and that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there, but now it'll be 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here's Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona. Several media outlets thought Andy Isabella was the top receiver in this year's class out of UMass. He dominated his senior year there. 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns. They really say that he can just take a top off the defense. He ran a 4.31 40 at the Combine, 3rd fastest of all attendees. And then he was taken 62nd. A lot of experts think he was a major bargain with loads of potential. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Oh, yeah. Orbit. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's Butler. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch two.
Here's Pollard. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big hit.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Pollard again. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Tony Pollard with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals push further out in front. They do tack on the extra point as well, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wilson to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Robert Alford. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 30. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Terrell Suggs. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack that time. Say hello to Brandon Williams.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Gun. Check 50, check 50. Check Mike 34. Mike 34.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Cards, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.